Hey, football fans, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about something that's never easy to discuss, the health and safety of our favorite players. Grant DuBose, the Miami Dolphins wide receiver, suffered a frightening head injury during the game against the Houston Texans this past Sunday. Before we dive into the details, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. You don't want to miss any of our updates on player health, game recaps, and all things NFL. Now, let's break down what happened to DuBose and the latest updates on his recovery. The frightening moment. Grant DuBose's head injury. Alright, so here's the story. Everything was going smoothly in the Dolphins game against the Houston Texans until the third quarter, when Grant DuBose, a wide receiver for Miami, took a nasty blow to the head. I'm talking about a hit that made everyone in the stadium, and likely every fan watching at home, hold their breath. It all happened as Tagovailoa threw a pass over the middle of the field, and DuBose went up to make the catch. But as the ball arrived, Texans safety Calen Bullock didn't pull up, and instead, lowered his helmet, making direct contact with DuBose's head. Immediately, DuBose went limp, hitting the ground hard. That's when you could feel the collective gasp. And then the silence took over the field. The game came to a halt as medical personnel rushed to DuBose, who was down for several minutes. It was an extremely scary moment for everyone involved. Dolphins players gathered around him, taking a knee and showing their support as medical staff worked on him. The whole team and the fans in the stadium knew this was a serious injury. What happened next? The medical response. Now, when you're watching a game and see a player get hurt, it's always concerning, but this one felt different. DuBose's jersey was cut off, his helmet was removed, and he was carefully placed on a backboard for immobilization. Medical staff also strapped him down, ensuring he stayed completely still as they placed him in a neck brace and administered oxygen through a tube. As they wheeled him off the field, CBS cameras caught the unsettling moment where DuBose didn't move. It's unclear whether he was conscious at that time, but it was a moment that sent a chill down the spine of every fan watching. You could hear the tension as the camera focused on him being transported off the field. In these moments, it's impossible not to think about the safety of the players and the risks they take every time they step on the field. The Dolphins and Texans fans alike were praying for DuBose's recovery as the focus shifted from the game to the players' well-being. The aftermath. What we know about DuBose's condition. After the game, we got the first update on DuBose's condition. The Dolphins confirmed that DuBose was taken to a local hospital in Houston for further evaluation. Thankfully, the team announced that DuBose was in stable condition, which was a huge relief to fans everywhere. Head coach Mike McDaniel spoke about the injury after the game, saying there had been some positive feedback following the head and neck imaging. While the team didn't provide any specifics on the severity of the injury, McDaniel did confirm that DuBose would be staying in Houston overnight for continued care and evaluation. Now, you might be wondering, what happens next for DuBose? While we don't have all the details yet, this injury, particularly when it involves a head or neck, is something that requires careful and thorough monitoring. DuBose's status is day-to-day for now, and the Dolphins will be keeping a close eye on his recovery. Bullock's thoughts on the hit. No malice intended. After the game, Texans safety Calen Bullock addressed the hit. And, of course, the question everyone had. Was it a dirty hit? Bullock made it clear that he never intended to hurt DuBose. In fact, Bullock was very emotional about the situation, saying, "My intention was never to go out there and hurt nobody. That's none of our intention. Prayer to him and his family. I hope he's good. I just saw the ball and I was just breaking on the ball. It just happened to be one of those types of plays. So, while it was a hard hit, it seems like it was just one of those things that happens in football." Bullock was simply doing his job, playing defense and trying to make a play on the ball. That doesn't take away from how dangerous the hit turned out to be. But it's good to hear that there was no malicious intent behind it. Grant DuBose, the player behind the injury. Now, let's take a quick moment to get to know Grant DuBose a little better. DuBose is a second-year pro, who spent his rookie season in 2023 with the Green Bay Packers on their practice squad after being selected in the 7th round of the NFL Draft. He played college football at Charlotte, where he showcased his talents as a wide receiver, making a name for himself as a reliable target. Unfortunately, the Packers released DuBose in August, but the Miami Dolphins swooped in and claimed him off waivers. He's played in 2 games for Miami this season, making 1 catch for 13 yards. He actually made a catch earlier in the game against the Texans before the injury occurred. The young receiver was looking to make his mark on the field. But now, his health is the primary concern. What's next for DuBose and the Dolphins? So, what's next for DuBose and the Dolphins? For now, it's all about his recovery. The team will continue to monitor his condition, and we'll likely get more updates as the days pass. As for the Dolphins, this injury serves as a reminder of the physical toll the game takes on players. Miami's next steps will be about supporting DuBose, making sure he gets the care he needs, and then figuring out how to move forward in his absence if necessary. The team has shown a lot of support for their young receiver, and we can only hope that he's able to make a full recovery and return to the field soon. Closing. And that's a wrap on today's update. Folks, what do you think? How are you feeling about the hit on DuBose? And do you think he'll be able to come back strong? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't done so already, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. We'll be keeping a close eye on this story and will bring you any updates as they come. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, stay safe and enjoy the football season. Hey, football fans, welcome back to the channel. Before we dive into the Mahomes injury drama from this past weekend, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. You know, we're all about that NFL gossip and analysis. And trust me, you don't want to miss the next play. Ready? Let's go. Patrick Mahomes injury, the drama. Alright, folks, let's get into it because this past Sunday's game between the Kansas City Chiefs and Cleveland Browns was as intense as it gets. But not because of the score. Oh no. It was a Patrick Mahomes ankle injury that had the entire stadium holding its breath. In the 4th quarter, when Mahomes was running for his life, oh wait, was he running? He took a hit that left him limping off the field. And just like that, Carson Wentz stepped in to play hero. I mean, who saw that coming, right? The legend of Mahomes himself, the king of no-look passes and crazy comebacks, was suddenly out of the game. Now, I don't know about you, but I thought for a second I was watching a different sport, maybe some alternate NFL universe where Wentz gets a second chance. But here's what we know. Mahomes was hit hard by Ogbo Okoronkwo and Mike Hull Jr. in a combination that looked like they were trying to reenact a scene from The Matrix, legs tangled in a way that doesn't seem humanly possible. And boom, just like that, Mahomes limps off the field, and Carson Wentz takes over. Now, it's easy to say, well, it's just an ankle sprain. He'll be back next week. But hold your horses, my friends. We're talking about a player who's been a 2-time MVP, 3-time Super Bowl MVP, and is a staple of Kansas City's offense. The Chiefs need him if they want to continue their quest for a 3rd Super Bowl in a row. Mahomes injury update. What's going on with his ankle? So, what's the deal with Mahomes' ankle? Well, don't worry, it's not as bad as it looked. According to Chiefs head coach Andy Reid, it's not broken. That's a relief, right? I mean, imagine being hit by 2 grown men, and then having someone say, yeah, it's not broken, but we'll see how it swells up tomorrow. Thanks, coach, I'm glad it's not broken. But, you know, a little more info wouldn't hurt. Mahomes himself admitted it was tough to assess the injury right after the game, saying it's all about how your body reacts after the adrenaline wears off. You know, like when you stub your toe and think, oh, that didn't hurt, but then 2 hours later, you're questioning life choices and your very existence. Classic. He also mentioned that, in hindsight, he probably could have finished the game if the circumstances were different. But, smart guy that he is, he agreed to let Carson Wentz take over. Wentz, remember, has been a starter in the NFL for years, so no pressure on him, right? Wentz to the rescue? What happens next? And here's where it gets interesting. Carson Wentz, a former 1st-round draft pick, came in and finished the game. Wentz, who's been bouncing around the league, from Philadelphia to Indianapolis, to Washington, and now landing in Kansas City, got a chance to show that he can still lead a team, even if it's in garbage time. And honestly, folks, he didn't mess it up. He didn't throw a pick 6 or anything that made you want to reach for the nearest stress ball. So that's a win for the Chiefs. However, and I know I'm not the only one thinking this, if you're a Chiefs fan, how nervous were you when Wentz took over? I mean, sure, he's had his moments in the sun, but he's also had some pretty rocky years recently. With Mahomes, you expect magic. With Wentz, you're hoping for competence. There's a difference. But hey, Chiefs Kingdom, don't sweat it. While it's important to note Mahomes' status moving forward, we're not in panic mode just yet. According to Reed, Mahomes is day-to-day, and with a little rest, he could be ready for the next game. But the Chiefs will be extra careful not to rush him back too soon. The playoff push. Chiefs' quest for the top AFC seed. Here's the kicker, though, Mahomes' injury couldn't have come at a worse time for the Kansas City Chiefs. They're sitting pretty at 13-1, but the AFC playoff race is heating up. The Chiefs are still fighting to hold on to that number 1 seed in the AFC, which would give them home field advantage and a first-round bye. That's a big deal. With the Chiefs securing their playoff spot already, the race for that top seed is now critical, and they have 3 games in 11 days to make it happen. I'm not kidding. They play Houston, then Pittsburgh on Christmas Day, and let's face it, if Mahomes isn't healthy, things could get a little spicy for Kansas City's chances. So, yeah, no pressure. Just the next few weeks deciding if the Chiefs will host the AFC Championship game at Arrowhead Stadium, or if they'll have to go on the road. We all know Mahomes is the key to that, and having him healthy, and not just okay, is the Chiefs' ticket to reaching that 3rd consecutive Super Bowl. Final thoughts. Will Mahomes be ready for the playoffs? It all comes down to this. Will Patrick Mahomes be good to go when it matters most? Or is Carson